On this episode of the Globe Sports Corner, a flying disc golf sanctuary in Elkhart is in need of repairs. GC Men's Volleyball wraps up their season with some big honors, and we sit down with the owner and founder of the Elkhart County Miracle, a brand new independent baseball team. All that more on the Globe Sports Corner. Welcome inside the Globe Studios. I'm Dante Stanton, and this is the Globe Sports Corner. We start by bringing you a developing story. Goshen College Athletics continues to make its way through a difficult year of coaching turnover, as it was announced Monday that Victor Newberg, the head coach of the GC men's soccer team, is no longer with the school. As of Tuesday, Newberg had yet to be removed from the athletic department's website, but athletic director Erica Albertine did confirm his departure. Coach Newberg went 14, 37-9 overall at the helm and put up a total of 6 conference wins since the 2019 season. The team finished 2-12-3 in 2022 and missed out on the Crossroads League tournament for the 8th consecutive season. Taking Newberg's position in an interim role will be assistant coach Dan Sullivan, who's been with the program since 2016. We shift gears now to an Elkhart County Park just down the road that's in need of a facelift. The Flying Disc Golf Sanctuary at OxBow Park is set to celebrate its 35th anniversary next year, and the community has plans for the course to take on a whole different look when it comes time to celebrate. Amelia Lee has the story.
OxBow County Park is expecting some renovations to their disc golf course. Baskets like this one, as well as tee pads and more, are in need of some sprucing up.
Next year, we're going to be celebrating the 35th year of us creating this amazing flying disc golf sanctuary at OxBow County Park.
Rhonda DeCare, Elkhart County Parks Director, says they have some big plans for the park.
We want to spruce it up, have it looking good. We have not done a lot of work to it in that 35 years, and it needs a facelift.
And so far, a fundraiser for the renovations is in the works.
What we're looking at as we are fundraising to put in new tee pads, new baskets, clear out some of our branches and debris.
Disc golfer Stuart Mead says that one specific item should be replaced.
Baskets have to be upgraded every 20 years or so, and these have been in a lot longer than that.
Tim Drescher, a disc golfer, agrees.
Really just having the tee pads upgraded and the baskets upgraded, that's good enough for me.
Although park goers are excited for renovations, it's still in its fundraising phase.
We are about a third of our way to our goal of raising $21,000.
And for the rest of the plan,
we are then going to start renovations this spring with laying out concrete for some of our tee pads, and then hopefully be completed by next spring with the baskets and the signage and everything else.
Spirits are high for the renovation project.
Our biggest challenge is going to be the woody debris, but I see everything else going smoothly and successfully with the team of volunteers and staff that we have.
More information on the fundraising and renovation for the OxBow County Park Disc Golf Course is online at elkhartcountyparks.org. Reporting for Globe News, I'm Amelia Lee.
Now, I'm a disc golf fan myself, and as someone who grew up playing disc golf at OxBow County Park, I wasn't good at it, by the way, I'm excited to see how the course will grow. Now, the upcoming change should really be special. And if you want special, then stick around. Coming up, we turn our attention to the baseball diamond, but not here at GC. We do stay in Elkhart County, though. Coming up, I'll sit down with the owner of the brand new independent baseball team, Craig Willam, the president and founder of the Elkhart County Miracle. Stay with us. More Globe Sports is up next.
Goshen College. Everyone's at home here. Students from around the world and down the street find inspiration and lifelong friends in our unique, supportive community, right here in northern Indiana. Cutting-edge academics, real-world learning, and small, personalized classes make the difference, all surrounded by world-class culture and championship sports. Most importantly, it all leads to a record of amazing outcomes in diverse fields of study. From pre-med to social work, broadcasting to accounting, schedule your campus visit today at goshen.edu/visit.
Welcome back to the Globe Sports Corner. I'm Dante, and joining me now in studio is Craig Willam, president and founder of the Elkhart County Miracle. Craig, thanks so much for joining us today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good, Dante. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about, first I want to hear about you. I want to hear about your own baseball journey here a little bit before we get into the details of the Elkhart County Miracle. What's your baseball journey been like, and how has it led to this independent team?
Well, you want the Reader's Digest version, Dante, or you want the big story?
We'll take the Reader's Digest version.
Okay.
We'd love to have you on Globe Radio sometime, though, to hear the full story.
Yeah, I'm kidding you a little bit. I'll just give you a quick little snapshot. my career has been in broadcasting, primarily radio and television. So I have traveled the country, around the world really, covering sports. With the South Bend White Sox back in the time. They were an affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. I was the first play-by-play announcer for the team back in the late 1980s. So I traveled all over the country looking at all kinds of venues in my job, covering the team broadcasting-wise. And then I did a similar job for the University of Notre Dame. So we covered a lot of Notre Dame sports. Baseball, basketball, some football. But I traveled again with the team looking at these venues that Elkhart County never ever had. You know what I'm saying? There were communities that were about our size that had beautiful facilities. And talk about quality of life. I mean, they bring so much to communities, and we never had anything like that. So I thought, you know, the time has come. We need to have something like that here in Elkhart County. So 16 years ago, I began digging around a little bit, not knowing a thing about how to build a baseball stadium or even bring a minor league team to Elkhart County. But we began, and it's been one of those 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of a thing. You know, we make progress and then we go back a little bit, make a little more. But in the end, we're here. And so here we are. We've got a lease agreement with Northwood High School. They have a brand new $15 million complex that they just opened up. The athletic director there told me some time ago that, yeah, it's for the high school, but really this is a regional hub for baseball and for softball. They've got softball diamonds too. Mm-hmm. And their plan was to have a baseball facility big enough and nice enough that they could attract a minor league team. And when he said that, I thought, hey, I need to talk a little bit further to you about this plan. So that was over a year ago, about a year ago. And we've been working hard, diligently at putting together the pieces. And we've got a 3-year agreement now with the Northwood Field of Dreams. And we open up on May 31st. And we're in the Northern League. The Northern League has been around since 1902, so it's a well-established league. It's an independent minor league system, so we have players that have played a lot of college ball, some players that have played professionally up in the higher ranks of affiliated ball. But it's an amazing team, about 30 to 35 players coming from about 7 states.
That's incredible. Yeah. So an immediate draw from all around the country.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we had a merch order last night from Illinois. A guy wanted a T-shirt. And I thought, you know, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Really, it is.
How do you think Elkhart County as a whole, you know, not having not much of a baseball community, I would say, having to go over to St. Joseph County to see the South Bend Cubs or, you know, formerly the Silverhawks or the White Sox.
Right.
How do you think Elkhart County is going to respond as a community to finally having their own baseball team?
Well, if what I've heard over the last 16 years, Dante, is any indication, I think it's going to be huge. A community such as ours, when you look at what kinds of crowds attend games for a well-developed and well-produced show or game like what we're intending to do, you can expect about 1% of the county's population to attend your game on any given night. So that equates to about 2,000 people. You know, we could very well have 2,000 people for our first homestand per night. We don't know for sure, but we're guessing there's going to be a lot of people that have heard the story for the last 16 years that have been more than ready for this team, and I think they're going to show up.
What kind of talent do you expect the Miracles to attract? You mentioned some players that have played college ball a little bit and bounced around maybe the minor leagues and things like that. This first roster that you have, the roster that's going to come out on May 31st, what does that team look like right now?
That's a great question. We've got about 25% of our team from, I'd say, from a 50-mile radius of Elkhart County. So we've got a couple of players from, nobody from Goshen College yet, but we're still waiting for that. And I know Coach Childers has done a great job here. We'd love to have one of his players, but we've got a couple of Bethel players, believe it or not. in the history of Bethel College baseball, they've had 2 players that have made it to the big leagues. They seem to have a knack for finding pitching for some reason.
Sure.
So we've got 2 players, and one I'm very, very excited about. Some of the players are from a little bit further out, but we've also got some Dominican players. The Dominican Republic, and when you look at Major League Baseball, they produce the second largest group of players in the big leagues. First, it's the United States, and the second next group is the Dominican Republic. It's totally a lifestyle there. Baseball is just incredibly popular. We've got a handful of Dominicans, and I can't really tell you who our manager is yet, but he is a Dominican as well, who's had some big league experience in coaching. So the team is going to be very talented.
Can you talk to me just a little bit about the nickname, the Miracle? Where did the Miracle come from? And also, we need to hear some nicknames about this guy that we've got next to us here. I'll show this one off. This is Scooter, correct?
Yeah, that's Scooter.
Okay, very cool. So first start with the Miracle a little bit, and then tell us about Scooter.
Yeah, well, I've lived here. I came from Wisconsin back in 1978, and I worked a lot in faith-based ministries and worked for the WFRN group and LaCie Broadcasting over in South Bend. And what I realized was this is a faith-based community. Goshen College, we've got a lot of people who lean on the Lord. And the names, these nicknames for teams, they kind of reflect the community. The Oilmen, for instance, they're in our league. They're the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. Well, it's a refinery capital over there, right? I mean, a lot of refineries in Northwest Indiana, so they called their team the Oilmen. The Milwaukee Brewers, I mean, come on, what better name could there be? But I just thought Miracle kind of reflected our culture here, and it reflects the culture. There's miracles that happen here every day. You've seen them, big and small, in the church, outside of the church, it makes no difference. But we have an expectation here of seeing miracles. And I love the name. There were a couple of other minor league teams that actually used that name in the past. The Fort Myers Miracle, and there was the Miami Miracle in independent baseball. But we've taken the name now. No one else has it. And I just love it. Our jerseys look awesome.
Now tell me a little bit about Scooter here. We've got some mock-ups here. Is this official?
That's close to official, Dante.
Okay.
That's a similar look. It's going to look very similar to that. And Scooter is actually Daryl Kaufman. His nickname was Scooter. He owned a trucking firm and a bus firm over in Shipshewana. And about, probably a dozen years ago or so, I went over there and just called on the business to see if they would be interested maybe someday of being a sponsor with our minor league team. And he got all excited about it. He said, absolutely, when you're ready, come back. So about a year ago, I went back to see Daryl and found out that he had passed away. But his brother was there. And they said, you know what? Daryl couldn't stop talking about the Elkhart County Miracle. And he said, you know, if Daryl were here, he'd want to be a part of it. So I said, well, great. Why don't we name the mascot after Daryl? Oh, great. What can we name the mascot? And they said, well, his nickname was Scooter. I said, perfect. So Scooter it is. There's Scooter.
That's a beautiful story, and already before the team is even formed, you've got an emotional connection, which I think is fantastic.
That's exactly right.
And that's a big part of it as well. I want to show this off as well. This is what's this is next for the Elkhart County Miracle. So you're at the Northwood Field of Dreams right now, but this is the future of the Elkhart County Miracle.
Yes, if you go to our website, elkhartcountymiracle.com, you'll find our present home, a rendering of our field over there at Northwood, the Field of Dreams, and then you'll see our future home, which is right here. And, you know, we've had the top architects in the country work on this. Populous out of Kansas City, they probably develop most of the major league ballparks around the country. I was just last summer, I went to New York and Cooperstown and places like that to take in some games, and Citi Field in New York is one of their projects, and Houston and Miami, all those ballparks were designed by populists. Well, they designed this for me, and this is great. It's a 10,000-seat retractable roof stadium, which will be used for baseball, yes, but also for soccer and for community events year-round. So we'll be the first retractable roof baseball facility, hopefully, in the country. And our plan is to have this sometime in the 2026 season, 27, maybe 28. You know, we're very patient. It could take maybe 29. But I really, honestly, in the next 3 to 5 years, I really, truly expect that we'll be calling this our home. Yep.
Incredible. It looks like a great facility. I'm excited to see what comes of it.
Thank
Final
you.
question for you here.
Yeah.
What do you expect out of the team in their first inaugural season? Starts on May 31st.
Yeah.
It's right around the corner, a month and a half away.
Well, from the team itself, we're expecting a championship in the Northern League. And it sounds a little crazy to be talking about that as an expansion team, but last year's winner in the Northern League was an expansion team as well, Lake County over in Crown Point. There's 6 teams in our league right now. So I think we can win a championship. That's our expectation. And we expect to have a wonderful time with the fans that come out and support us. And I didn't share this with you at all, Dante, but I'm going to give you a couple of ticket packets here to give away, however you'd like. But we've got a little promotion going on there, and we've got tickets at $10, $8, and $5. But there's some freebies that you can comp your viewers and listeners with here at the Globe.
Very cool. That's very generous of you. Craig, I want to thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you, Dante.
Today. I appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to the Miracle. I'm looking forward to see what happens.
Can't wait to see you out there. It'll be fun.
Now, when we return, we are turned to the side of men's volleyball and all the great things that they're doing this season. As the season has wrapped up, there was improvement beyond what was expected. That's all up next on the Globe Sports Corner.
So you just graduated from Goshen College? What experiences prepared you for this job?
Where do I begin?
The men's volleyball team at Goshen College's season may be over, but they finished the season 2 places above where expected in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference. A big part of their success, Ismail Bangura, a newcomer to GC, and the Bosnian behemoth, Hassan Hajic. Now, when I say newcomer, I mean newcomer, as Bangura arrived at GC for the first time in January. Despite being on campus for less than a month, the first year out of Sierra Leone got acclimated quickly, earning first-team all-conference honors. Despite his early struggles with a different style of gameplay, Bangura's natural ability on the court caught other teams in the conference off guard.
Yeah, I think he really surprised a lot of people. He is an incredible person because he was able to make such big adjustments from cultural adjustments and volleyball adjustments. And so that was impressive.
For Hajic, who was named the conference newcomer of the year, the biggest challenge of the season didn't come from on-the-court struggles. It came from trying to get on the court as he dealt with eligibility issues, a process which kept him sidelined for nearly half of the season.
I had a lot of steps that I had to do, especially I had some problems because I already changed colleges, I transferred, and I had some problems with the paperwork there. But Jewel, also I have to mention Jewel and Val here again because they helped me a lot through that process, and Andy, Coach Andy too. And without them, I probably wouldn't even get the eligibility. So
Hajic's reintroduction to the team boosted the Maple Leafs down the stretch and kept them in the hunt for the WAC tournament, which they just narrowly missed. But according to Jewel Lyman, the standings would have looked a whole lot different had Hajic been in the lineup the entire year.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We did want to be in the tournament, and so that was a disappointment when we realized that we were just going to miss out on that. And knowing that if we had had Hassan sooner, that we would have been there. I'm convinced of it.
While these two players weren't the only ones who succeeded at a high level this season, their impact was invaluable.
Coming to United States, and in my very first appearance, like I won something like that. For me, I mean, I'm very grateful for it, and it's an honorable achievement for me.
We worked whole year for it, and I think this is not only my achievement. I think it's overall team achievement, because I had a lot of support from coaches, teammates, other people, all the people around me.
Reporting for Globe Sports, I'm Dante Stanton. Great to see that team continue to defy expectations. To say that the future is bright for GC men's volleyball is definitely an understatement. Based on recent recruiting visits, the team looks in great shape despite some upcoming departures. Now, it's time for a little bit of a wild recap. This past Saturday, Goshen College baseball participated in one of the wildest games in school history as they fell to the St. Francis Cougars 27-17. And no, that's not a football score. While Goshen still suffered the loss, the Maple Leaf offense had a day. They had 6 batters registering multiple hits and 5 coming up with multiple RBIs. But the craziness just continues. 3 different batters were hit by a pitch a total of 4 times. 3 Maple Leafs registered doubles, and Goshen College left 11 Cougars stranded on the defensive side. The 17 runs is the most Goshen has scored in a conference game since 2017, and the total amount of runs scored, 44. It's a program record. And now from a wild game to a wild performance, Maddie Axum is the Crossroads League Field Athlete of the Week. Axum leapt her way to an NAIA B standard qualifier this past weekend. She is one of just 17 women who have qualified for the NAIA high jump this season, and she's just a first year. Congratulations to Axum on her awards. Well-deserved and extremely impressive. Coming up, not only do we have more national qualifiers, we've got broken records too. Next, after the break, we'll take a look at the highlight of the week, the Maple Leaf Minute, and more. Stick around. Back inside the Globe studios now for our continuing coverage of GC track and field. This team just continues to break records. We told you before the break about Maddie Axum's impressive qualifiers. Got even more. Samuel Stoner, EB, your Student Everence Athlete of the Week, not only hit the NAIA A standard in the 400-meter dash, but he broke the school record in the process this past weekend at the Don Kleinau Invitational. At the same event, another school record fell. Nelson Kemboy put his name in the record books once again, setting the new school record in the 1,500-meter dash. Impressive doesn't even begin to show just how good these athletes are, but a big congratulations is definitely in order. Now let's put 60 seconds on the clock now for the Maple Leaf Minute. This weekend is heavy on the road games for softball and baseball. Both teams will be away at Mount Vernon Nazarene on Friday. Baseball sticks around to make it a 4-game series on Saturday, while softball heads south to the other GC, Grace College, to take on the Lancers. Friday also marks the start of the Indiana Little State Track and Field Championships. This 2-day event marks the second-to-last invitational of the season before the Crossroads League Championships in early May. And the weekend rounds out with some rescheduled men's and women's tennis. The teams were set to play about 2 weeks ago, but the invitational was rained out. Both squads will be at home against the visiting Bethel Pilots, and both teams are also coming off of wins from their March matchups. And just a quick reminder, be sure to check out our social media platforms at 911 The Globe on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also stay up to date on the latest in Globe news and Globe sports on our website, globeradio.org. Now, unfortunately, time to say goodbye. This will be the last episode of the Globe Sports Corner for the season, but don't worry, we plan to come back stronger than ever in the fall with some big changes, a new look, and some new faces as well. So from all of us at Globe Sports, thank you, and remember, you're watching the Globe Sports Corner.